I was skating, and he was like, yo, why didn't you hear me? And I was like, oh, I can't hear, like out of my left ear. And he was like, well, I'm writing you up for a ticket. And I was like, why are you writing me up for a ticket? And he's like, oh, because you're skating on the sidewalk. And I was just like, damn, what? We're like in Huntington Beach, Surf City, like it's surfing and skating is the culture. And he writes me up, and then he was like, you know, you get down, you going down the list, and like the dude was like, yo, or he didn't say yo. He was like, hey, you're black, right? And I was like, what?
Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Mario.
And I'm Peter.
And we're
Guys That Listen.
On today's episode, we have the very talented, the very stylish David Allen.
Woo! Thank you.
David, tell us a little about yourself.
My name is David, by David the Dude. I have a sales agency called The Goods Group. I got a store in Virginia called Telos Los Angeles, and then I have a brand called Keep Out Fake Love.
We gotta get into
That's
that.
a motto to live by,
right?
Oh, there's a story behind that.
Oh, we're about to get to that story for sure. Dave, I've known you for a minute, bro. Like through a lot of things, right? Through the partying phase, through you like starting your own business, and to where you're at now.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you're a guy who's like very multifaceted, right? You've done a lot, but it's like you're kind of the guy in the background a lot of times. You'll talk about it, you'll put stuff up, but you won't really go into depth. And like today, I feel like I kind of want to figure that out about you.
Yeah, no one knows what I do. Like I'll post stuff or whatever, and then I meet people, and they're like, dude, like I don't know what you do. You just like travel around. I see you with clothes, or you're at a store or whatever. They're just like, you know, and it's like, oh, I sell clothes, and they're like, okay, even weirder, because like how
Yeah.
Do you love it that people don't know what you do, and you're just like,
yeah, kind of. Well, you know, like now I'm like, hey, I want to come on here and be like, yeah, this is what I do, so like all the answers can be you know, or the questions can be answered. But yeah,
definitely. I mean, okay, so you kind of described what you do now, where you're at now, but tell us about like where you were, you know, where you came from, what you're about. Like, what was your childhood like?
grew up in Long Beach. My brother
LBC?
Keenan. Back then, growing up there, it was like a little bit harder.
Really?
Yeah, always getting fights. They have these things called pink slips, where like you know, you get in a fight, and then you have to like you get in trouble, and then you have to get that like this paper, this pink slip, like signed by your parents.
oh.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. And then when I came out to OC to go live with my grandpa, it was like me, my dad, my mom, and my brother. This kid, we were playing basketball, and he was just like, like the ball, like someone missed, the ball went into the other court. This kid didn't want to give me his basketball, and I was just like, yo, what the, like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, give me my basketball. Like, check this guy, like, about to start fighting him. And the guy was like, yo, I don't want any trouble. And I was like, the fuck? I don't have to, like, fight anymore, you know? Like, I just, like, ever since then, like, I haven't really had to be aggressive with people.
Oh, wow.
That's why everybody's like, damn, David, you're, like, so chill. I'm like, yeah, because I was like, why the fuck do I need to, like, be aggressive anymore, you know?
Everyone's like, David's the dude.
I thought this was about to be a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air story. Like he gets in a fight in the basketball courts. Has to be.
My parents brought me up pretty good. Like it wasn't like we didn't have like hella money, but I was able to, you know, get things if I worked for it. You know, it was mad chill. I just couldn't go outside a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did you have your like rebellious phase? Because obviously I know you go out.
You go out a lot.
Like, I grew up Christian, never really. I never cursed. I would say darn, frick,
Whoa,
darn
really?
Wait, is that why you didn't curse right now when you're like,
yeah, but also I was just like, oh, we're on camera. And I was like,
oh
you know
no,
what?
this podcast is rated R. You can say whatever the
All
fuck
right,
you
listen,
want.
the sailor's coming out.
He was like, hurrah!
No, yeah, I like grew up in a Christian household, and so yeah, like I wasn't really like kids were able to go outside during the week. Like, no, get your homework done, all that, and then that is when I learned I had no balance of like work and fun.
Really?
What do you mean?
Yeah, because like at 19, I was like, let's go. Or 17. I still had a work ethic. Like I worked at Knott's Berry Farm when I was 15. I was a ticket booth guy. from there, worked at like a bunch of skate shops.
Nice.
But the thing is, like, I never kept the job. I always got fired.
Oh, really? What was the reason?
I just was looking back on it probably a little bit more in like more of an individual. I was always really cool. Everyone loved me, but I know the managers was like, we can't have this cool guy like infect the rest of the colony of workers to where they can all be cool.
I get what you're
mean?
saying.
Wait, I don't.
I would do things in a way that I knew what the objective of this store was, and it's to sell.
Yeah.
So I would do things in the way that I would do it.
Oh,
In-
not the way the store wants you
Yeah,
to do
not
it.
in like guidelines
Yes.
of things, or like
Like they want you to act and work a certain way and present yourself a certain way because that's like how the store functions. But he's like, no, I think I can figure it out on my own and it'll still work. But they're like, no, you do it our way or no way.
yeah. So I was like, I worked at HSS. That happened.
Oh, HSS.
And then I went to this one shop. At the time, I was like doing an internship in it was in skating and like skateboarding, and then these guys like people never came into the shop, but I would just like they'd always just want me to clean, and like they caught me one time just like on an email, like emailing one of my like I was talking to this one skater to like kind of like send him product, and then they called me on there,
nice.
and he was just like, yo, like I'm paying you to fucking clean.
Yeah. Oh, that.
like you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
So I kind of like I got fired that day.
Damn.
Never was able to keep a job, but once I, but I was always interning. I either like interned for years, and then started like doing sales. But the moment I got into sales, it was like I was working at HSS, and this like rep came through, and he was just like the coolest fucking guy ever.
Oh, really? What was it about him that
He
made him
just
so
fucking-
cool?
He gave me shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Like, you know, it's like, yo, what size are you? Like, oh, what, like, you know, like I work for Globe. His name was Bud.
Oh.
So Bud, Master Paulo, he was the rep for Globe, and then he sponsored me, and I started getting clothes from them. And then one day I was just like, yo, like, I want to be like you. So he's like, yo, just be my intern.
Oh, wow.
So I was like when I was 17, gave me a gas card and like just had me go all over like San Diego and LA to just go visit the shops. And then I got into DJing.
What age was that?
That was like, you know, Ryan Britt.
No.
Okay, so Ryan Britt, we all used to fucking ride fixed gears.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Pixie Crew?
and then he introduced me to Danny and Daniel. That's when I was talking about the whole like balance of like work. And,
Oh, those guys brought you into the realm, huh?
but also too, like, you know, I never like smoked weed before, and I kind of give it to him because like before, like my eyes would just be like, you know, have blinders on, so like everything I did was always solely about me, instead of like other people get affected by your actions type of deal. So like, you know, talking, you know, we didn't just smoke weed and just like, I don't know, just zone out like, what's up? Yeah, like it was like, yo, like let's talk some deep shit.
Yeah,
And,
dude.
From there, like, you know, the partying happened. I went to Cal State Long Beach. Went to Cal State Long Beach, and I dropped out.
College is not for everyone. We all know that, right?
It's really not.
But you went from Long Beach to going to end up in Edison, which is in Huntington Beach, right?
Yeah, honey.
Yeah. So from what I remember, a very white dominated school, right? And Long Beach, from what I also remember,
also Asian.
Yeah, I can see that too. I've never, I've only met a handful of people from Edison. They're all white. So, but I mean, was that like a kind of culture shock?
So we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Like, what's it like being like? Was it mulatto?
I think Don called it light skin.
Yeah, let's just say it like that.
It was very interesting because like I was too black to be white or too white to be black. So I was in this like category of, it was weird.
So was that a good or a bad thing?
So
It's got its perks.
Yeah, it has its perks because like I was able to be like a chameleon in different groups. So like I was with my like white skater friends in like 5th grade where we would just listen to like AC/DC, like fucking like Leonard Skinner and Ozzy, like all that and skate. And then I never really had black friends that much because of where I was, but like Brazilians, I skated, like everything stemmed from skating.
Yeah.
Because everyone is so different in that culture.
Yeah.
Like, so like I was skating with like Richie and Taylor and Trent and Trevor, Tom, Matt, Andy, like all these guys. They're like white ones, like one's like Eastern European, the others are like Hispanic, like. And then when we go to the skate park, everybody's just like fuck, like we don't care what you are.
Yeah,
it's just how cool you are as a person, and then your skills, because it doesn't really matter like if you suck. Yeah. It's just like if you're like down.
Yeah, no, skateboarding is like one of the best melting pots. See, like growing up skating, I felt like, when you say all these high schools, I probably don't really meet most of the people there. But when I do, it's through like skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like we go to a skate park or skate spot and people will come from everywhere. I grew up in Santa Ana, so first skate park that popped up here was Centennial. Yeah. Right? And that was very, very popular.
Santa Ana Park. Where you get to run away from cops when they come.
Oh man, that was fun, right? 5050 po.
Yeah. You just hop the fence and then wait for them to leave, and then you're like, all right, let's go back.
Come back in.
Like what?
Isn't it kind of crazy though that skateboarding used to be, it seemed like a lot more rebellious back then. Like cops now almost don't really give a fuck. You see videos now where cops just stand, they'll just watch you skate.
Yeah, because it's like they're us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I became a cop and I saw skaters, I'd be like, all right, guys, like you get one more try. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to do my job, but you get one more try because I want to see this too.
Yeah.
It's like, because like I guess the cops back then, they just were like not young.
Yeah, true. Did you experience something like this? For me, like skateboarding actually is a big part of my personality, right? Because I wouldn't say I was ever like a shy kid, but I never felt confident in the person that I was until I started skating. I felt like I fit in finally, in a group of people that was like very diverse, right? Like when I was around Asian people, I felt like I wasn't smart enough to be Asian. You know what I mean? But then when I was here, it wasn't really about that. It was just about like what we liked, which is skateboarding and being out, hanging out, like new skate tricks, shit like that, meeting new people, talking about how you just met this pro and they gave you like a free deck or some shit like that. It was extremely like relatable.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. As a kid, if you get free shit,
pros give you like stuff. You're like,
I'm gonna be
a
pro.
new skate deck. Like when I got sponsored, like it was only rep flow. Yeah, like that's like probably the lowest that you can be. Yep. But I was so hyped. But yeah, like skating was. Well, I played sports, and I didn't ever fall through with any of them because like I wasn't. I guess at the time I wasn't a team player. Obviously, always getting fired. but I wasn't like a team player I'm a team player, but in a sense I wasn't a team player because the outcome, if I did everything I could, and the team like didn't, we still lose.
Yeah.
And that aspect of it, I kind of was just like, I fuck with skating more because like if I don't land the trick, it's all me.
Yeah, it's a solo thing.
Yep.
Like it's
individual sport.
Yeah, like I'll be trying, like when I first learned how to kickflip, I was doing it like I did it at least 500 times. Damn. Outside.
Jeez.
I was like 11. Just like I'm pretty sure my parents were like, dude, can you please?
Yeah.
Just out in the backyard. So like. Yeah, I was like, wasn't really into like the team sports stuff, but skating. That's when I found my tribe.
For sure.
Has that changed for you, being more of a team player now, considering like you have businesses, you have people that rely on you?
Sometimes I have to snap out of it.
Yeah,
because like sometimes you do things that are very about you individually, but then I have to realize like, oh, I got a team. I got a team. I have. My team has bills. I have bills too. So it's just like looking out for other people's livelihoods at the same time. It's like, it's an honor and then also like a very big responsibility. Which, with skating, there's really not like back then a responsibility.
It's kind of like the stigma, right?
I think
like,
that's what I was trying to run from. I was just like just skating with my friends.
all the spots that you can find on the videos.
Literally watching the skate videos and be like, we know, like, let's go there. But then back to that question of like being happy.
Yeah.
Something. It was in Edison. It was kind of weird because it was like I was like one of the. I think it was one of 10.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but that's like with skating, I was able to get along with everybody.
Yeah.
I never really fit in with everywhere, but I was always like cool with like, people who played sports or like the fucking AP kids who like hella smart than me.
Yeah.
And kind of like all that type of stuff. So like, skating kind of helped me to be a little bit more open.
Yeah.
But also not like fully in a certain group.
Do you feel like being one of 10 black kids in there? I'm assuming you were decently popular or not?
One of 10 black people.
You know what I mean?
Everyone wants to be friends with the 1 out of 10 black people.
You know what I mean? So you have that, right? You have the fact that he's
They're like, damn, he's so cool.
Yeah, I gotta get along with him.
It's like, hey guys,
cool
I
as
got
fuck,
a black
right?
friend.
Yeah, I'm one of them too.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm accepted. So like, did you feel like a lot of people during that time who were trying to be your friends or got along, and you know how you said you weren't accepted by white people because you were too black to be white or not black enough to be black?
I'm not saying like I wasn't accepted. I just like, there were some people that were just like, why do you talk like that?
Oh.
Yeah. So I think
Like what?
Yeah, like what?
What am I supposed to talk like? I'm like, yo, what's up, bruh? What's good, homie?
Yeah.
And then when I like talk to that, like I go down to like Long Beach or something and like, hey, what's up, guys? Or I say, dude. They're like, where the fuck are you from?
You're like in between that, like no one really understood like what you were going through or like the person that you were, because and you could affiliate with both cases, right?
Yeah.
But in both cases, they can really understand like where you come from, right? It sounds like to me you couldn't fit in, even though you kind of fit in both areas, right? Like you were both like, well, you were part black and part. What else was your
Armenian?
Armenian, right? So
Inch Pesses, homie.
Asian, right? So
Oh, you're Armenian?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern. Well, like so like my mom is mom's white and Middle Eastern or Armenian.
Asian,
and then my dad's black. My grandma's from like Louisiana, so there's like all that there.
Yeah.
Like Creole and got some Native American in me, which is not enough.
So your Thanksgivings must be really fucking good.
On my dad's side, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not like I'm Armenian, but I'm not in a
okay.
sense. Like I'm not cultured Armenian.
So you don't eat like the Armenians.
No, like
So you don't have cholesterol.
Like I did a catering job with my friend a long time ago, and it was at like an Armenian spot, and they're like, and it was like the house was like legit in the hills, and they're like, oh, I told them I was Armenian. They're like, what?
Really?
You're Armenian,
Yeah,
dude?
they can believe it, huh?
Yeah, they were just like, but it was a culture shock because like everyone was Armenian there, and I was like, okay, this is like my like way of understanding like the
other part of
culture.
you.
But yeah, like my grandpa is Armenian, came down from the genocide,
Yeah,
went
that's
from Fresno down to L.A. and then from LA down to OC, where that's why I'm in OC.
That's where you stayed, right?
Yeah, that's where I stayed, and he was like the first homeowner of Westminster.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
not the first.
I'm like the first one ever?
Whoa.
But like, his house had dirt in the back.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
yeah,
like
one of the OGs.
no one lived here.
Yeah.
It was like living in Marietta. You know,
That's rude.
Well, Marietta is nicer now. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more homes there.
Y'all came up since
But
then.
like you know how like Irvine had
Yeah.
like dirt behind it.
Yeah.
You know, like now it's crazy and there's no room.
So there's something you mentioned about smoking weed and kind of removing these like blinders that you had on, right?
Yeah.
I've had the experience where like smoking weed really helped kind of give me perspective,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
opened me up to new ideas. And I grew up Catholic and I grew up like, you know, believing in God and stuff.
Yeah.
And I started smoking weed and like learning about new ideas and learning about like different religions.
open.
Yeah. You become so much more open and different ideas come in and you're like, holy shit, like I've been lied to, or like I didn't know this. Like, what the heck?
What was the first thing you questioned?
Religion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I grew up believing in God, and like everyone must believe in a God.
Little bit, yeah. Like I think the Catholic community is a little bit more like, it's like Christians a little bit more lax.
I always thought it was the opposite, because the Christian friends I've met, they're like, oh, we gotta go to church on Sunday. Latinos with Catholic Latinos, we lazy.
Catholic and Christians talking shit on each other. Yeah, they're so straight.
That's what I was like. Like as kids, like us Catholics and Christians, like no, you guys suck. No, you guys are lazy. It was like, we go to church. I'm like, we don't go to church. You guys have to go to church. Whatever.
Maybe it's the one the churches I went to were always mad chill. Maybe it's because they were like in Huntington. I was like, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to church today.
Yeah. After this, we can go surf,
Yeah, everything in Huntington, I think, is a little more chill.
It's weird, right? So, during the time that you were in Huntington, I had skated there a lot. The skate park and just meeting people from Huntington. And, I had the same experience. Like, I thought Huntington Beach was hella chill. Go skate at the skate park, go to HSS, skate down the street, grab something to eat. It was like the life as far as like being a high schooler. But now you hear about Huntington Beach and you're like, sad. Oh shit! Oh. What's going on there?
Sad.
Yeah.
Like what do you think that maybe as kids we just didn't see it? That was always there.
I felt it.
You felt it. Okay.
Well, so
go into
I'm
that.
gonna go to that point with the blinders.
Mm-hmm.
The point with the blinders is like it opened me up to be like, all right, cool. There's other people in this world, not just me. I can. I have to think about the actions that I do as a person individually can affect another person and how they feel and all that stuff, because like this world is not just about me, it's about like you in it and you like being with everything. Like I didn't really question my religion at first. It was more just like, damn, like I'm a shithead. like you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
I do.
Like wow, like all the things that I've done and people getting upset with me, it's like when I got fired from HSS, like I was like, why me? Like this guy has, the manager at the time had a vendetta against me, where in reality, over time, I thought like, okay, like I was probably a shithead. I wasn't following the rules. Like this person is like maybe 28 at the time or in his 30s managing these kids of 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
And it's like a fucking circus of like kids and egos and, like kids that grew up with maybe no responsibilities and they have a job and trying to keep all these kids in check, and I was probably just like this outlier guy that was like not following the rules. And then even though everyone loved me there, it was more of like we can't have this or else everybody is going to be and over time when they had this like my friend Randy, who managed HSS at the time, he invited me to one of HSS's like holiday parties, and then I saw his name's Scott. What's up, Scott?
Shout out to Scott.
Sorry, Scott. But like
Scott.
Scott was there, the manager who fired me, and I went up to him and I was like, yo man, I just want to apologize for being such a shithead back in the day, because like I understand. I run a business now. I have employees, or I am working with people now, and it's kind of like, all right, like, even though I thought I was like cool doing whatever I was doing, you have a job to do and people to take care of and people to manage. So I, apologize, but yeah, like those opening the blinders kind of let go of the ego that everyone kind of has as like a, like why me or a like all that, like. So yeah, so to answer your question, like that's what kind of happened. It just opened me up to understanding that it's not just about me; it's about everybody else, in the world. Because how you get ahead in the world, the wine. How you get ahead in the world is how you work with others, because you can't really do that just by yourself.
Yep.
You know, like it's gonna be the hardest thing that you can ever do if you're just only by yourself. So being cool with everyone and understanding where everybody's coming from, that's how you're gonna like actually like succeed further than where you are at the moment. And then back to the question with like what was it like growing up in Huntington and like were we kind of like oblivious to things? Nah, dude. I was like skating in Huntington this one time. It's Surf City, right?
Yeah.
Surf City. I'm on my skateboard, and this kid, I'm a kid at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just skating from like HSS to my car, and I can't hear out of my left ear. Like I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Like my close friends know, but like when I'm at
you guys all know.
now you all know I can't hear it out of my left ear. So if you were trying to talk to me and I wasn't listening, or you thought I was a dickhead because I didn't answer you, it was because I couldn't actually hear you.
Oh shit!
So I just want to let you guys know.
You're forgiven.
But yeah, like I was skating and this cop was trying to pull me over on this bike. I was skating and he was like, yo, why didn't you hear me? And I was like, oh, I can't hear, like out of my left ear. And he was like, well, I'm writing you up for a ticket. And I was like, why are you writing me up for a ticket? And he's like, oh, because you're skating on the sidewalk. And I was just like,
damn,
what? We're like in Huntington Beach, Surf City, like it's surfing and skating is the culture. And he writes me up, and then he was like, you get down, you going down the list, and like the dude was like, yo, or he didn't say yo. He's like, he was like, hey, you're black, right? And I was like, what?
Oh.
In my mind at the time, like
Whoa.
I didn't really think anything of it, but like once I got back from all of that, like that day, I was kind of like, did he just like
Really
ask
say
me
that?
if I was like he was like, you're black, right? And I was like thinking, was he racially profiling me because I was just skating down the street in this like in downtown Huntington Beach? Like, it was kind of like, it's kind of weird. Like
That's weird.
I didn't really think anything of it because like skating, you're always running from cops. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
You can tell if it's because you're skating or because you're black. Right?
yeah, like it's
Damn.
always
That's a double
because-
whammy. Like,
Oh, it
It's
is.
always because I'm skating. Because
Oh.
like either I'm not supposed to be in like this like the schoolyard.
That you probably broke into, right?
I've
That we-
legit had like helicopters after us.
Yep.
Because we were like we would
you're
hop-
skating or black?
skated. We would we would hop fences
Yeah.
and into like schools and like skate the school and like get chased out by cops by there, or like we're like skating at like a spot and like security guard comes and calls the cops on us. Like like cops and stuff have been like a big part of my life, but in a different way.
Yeah.
So like that was a very like crazy outlier of it because it was just like, what? Like I fucking live here. Like I've skated this sidewalk over and over and over.
Did
So
you
it
hear me
was
saying, bro?
yeah, I was just like, dude, it was really weird, and it that kind of opened my eyes to like, oh okay, because I was talking earlier about like growing up Christian, like I didn't go to parties.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
You didn't swear.
Like smoking weed is bad.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes is bad. Still is.
Yeah.
And cursing is bad. And so I never went out to parties. I never got in trouble that way. So like I never really had that like racial profiling being out like that. It's
Yeah.
always just kind of been skating, but skating comes with running away from it.
Already. Yeah. That's the crazy part because when you skated, I'm fucking Asian. Like
No.
even I got pulled over by cops. Right?
You are legit doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're doing
You should be
something
at home
wrong.
studying.
Yeah, so you don't know sometimes.
gonna be a doctor if you
see, the thing
skate?
is, like I knew because I knew. Okay, I broke into this fucking school. You know what I mean? I waxed up this curb or
Yeah.
whatever. So that's
There's
the
a
reason why.
reason.
Yeah, and they told me to leave 3 times, and I didn't. So
Yeah.
I understood. But skating while black is fucking probably even more confusing because then you're like, is it really because I'm fucking skating? Especially if you're only skating on the sidewalk, and you're in fucking Surf City, Huntington Beach, right? Because I've seen it where through the years where because obviously we have black friends and then you kind of see it through like their lens. And especially when you're around them. You know, I was with Glover, which is our last guest, good friend of mine. We, skate together, and we only got in trouble because we always fucked around,
Yeah, like we're legit doing something wrong.
legit doing something wrong. And I think the first time I ever noticed something like profiling was when we were in, downtown Huntington Beach, walking around, and the dude he just loved blue. He would wear like blue Supras, blue I already
see where this is going.
I can see
blue jeans. And then I was walking down the street with him, and the cop was like, "Hey, you need to sit down, you sit over there." And then they were asking him like questions, and he's like, "Why am I, getting to sit down?" And then they're like, "Oh, because we're just wondering if you're part of the Crips."
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Huntington's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Huntington, it's a beautiful place. It's a great place to live.
Could be amazing, right?
But yeah, like there's some like there's some odd things that sometimes happen.
Yeah.
I personally don't have much of those experiences.
That's good.
Because everyone thought I was like Puerto Rican. Or like,
I can see it.
Definitely not Middle Eastern. People don't think I'm Middle Eastern.
Oh, really?
But yeah, everyone thinks I'm like Spanish or something like that.
Yeah,
so
you
like,
could dye your hair blonde up here, get a little Bud Bunny look.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So it's kind of like I didn't get that
Yeah.
much because I am not fully.
Yeah.
So like I could be anything. It's just that one instant it really stood out because like this guy really profiled me.
Straight up, basically.
Yeah,
right?
like legit profiled me, and I was like, damn, wild. But like, yeah, but I never got it much, so it didn't really affect me. It was just oh shit, okay.
Perks of being only part.
Yeah. So if you're asking if it's cool being half, like sometimes,
huh?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I have a story about where Glover being full black actually paid off one time. It's actually a pretty good story. So a long time ago, when camera lights were more prevalent, like we were cruising to go get some liquor in his car, and I was in the passenger seat. He drove a Miata, right? So it's just a 2-seater. It's just him driving and me in the passenger. He got a camera ticket.
Let's see what is
Yeah, the fucking back then they would mail you the ticket with the picture.
Yeah.
And in the car, you couldn't see him. You could only see his teeth. And I'm right there, just like fucking talking to him about some bullshit. And then so he was like, "Yo, Pete, you think I could get away with this by saying it's not me?" I was like, "I don't know. Why don't we just go to the Santa courts and see what's up?" Actually, don't use this against us. We don't know what court we went to.
They don't have those anymore.
Oh, okay, that's good. So we went to the fucking like Santa courts, and he had to write it off as in like it wasn't him. So he went up to a bunch of cops, and he was like, "Hey, I got this ticket. It was mailed to me, but this isn't me." So he shows them the picture, and the cop obviously looks at it, and he's like, "Fuck, I can't see shit, right? Except for those teeth." And he's like, "Fuck, am I gonna be racist if I fucking say it's still him, or should I just let him go?" So the cop's like, "Okay, you're good. We'll write it off as like someone took your car or whatever, and you're good to go." But the funny thing is, I was with him when the cop signed off for it, and I was
in
also
the car?
in the fucking
What?
picture.
Come on, you guys are
like,
stupid.
dude, yeah, they're like, "Oh, we just gotta
guys
fucking
are-
write it off." That's the only time that he tells me, he's like, the only time that being black actually benefited me. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
They probably saw his Asian get too like, oh, they all look alike. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
that
say
too. They probably like, is he the same Asian guy in the fucking car? Or is he just like,
no?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I am not.
You know what's funny about those? It's in the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, those were all owned by a private company. It wasn't even really part of like the government or anything like that.
Whoa,
It
really?
was these private companies that would set up the camera, so it was like a third party that would work with like your city or whatever. But it wasn't a legal thing. That's why if you didn't pay it, nothing happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Remember when like somebody was like going around just like smashing them?
Yep.
Or like covering them up?
Oh, yeah.
Someone was smashing them, covering them up.
It was illegal that they
Yep.
were. Like,
It was, and it was illegal. You can't be doing that because
So
it wasn't
crazy.
an actual law that they had put in place or anything. It's just they would send you a fucking fine and people would pay it.
Dude, those things are crazy though, because like I've heard a couple of different stories very similarly. Like, let's say you park somewhere illegally in like a parking lot when it's like privately owned, they give you a ticket. It's not from like the government. It's
No,
not
it's
from the
not.
cops. So you actually don't have to even pay them
Yep.
that, but people do because just out of the
You don't
fear of
know.
like, oh, I got a
You don't
ticket.
know.
I always had this idea. Is this true? Can you like when they say sign here if you're going to take care and you're signing here says that you're going to take care of this ticket.
Yeah.
What if you don't sign it?
Oh.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Like
No.
I'm not going to take care of this ticket. I'm not going to sign this.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then again, my grandma was like, "Yo, just do what you like, do what they say, because shit could pop off."
Yeah.
We're brown, so we can't be doing that.
I've like my grandma has taught me to like always like, all right, when you get pulled over, which it happened a lot. I got pulled over a lot.
Why?
Really? Yeah, maybe it's because my car was bright. It was like orange. But my hand, like I would turn the car off, put my hands outside the car.
Yep.
With the keys in my hand.
Oh,
Is your grandma black?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Yeah. She's like, yo, just make sure that they know that you're not going anywhere and they can see where your hands are and all that stuff. So, you know, sometimes the cops were like, what are you doing? But then I was like, I'm just listening to my grandma.
That's a smart lady. No, that's the thing. That's a reality sometimes that you have with, like, you know,
It's a shitty reality.
The black experience. Where I've heard this from other people as well, where it's like when you have a run-in with a cop or anything like that, you have to have these kind of procedures already in place. Like, black parents teach their kids that ahead of time, like in case that ever happens to them, where it's like you have to make yourself seem as least like as like not as looking dangerous, or it's not like you're gonna do something, you know, hands in the air, whatever makes you seem so safe. Because the reality is, it's like bad shit happens, you know. There's racist ass people out there who will get you just for the color of your skin.
See, but that's like the opposite experience for me, right? Like being Asian, I've done some shit where like I definitely should have not gotten away with it, right? They just look at me like I'm a good citizen somehow. Like I remember one time, this was a long ass time ago when I first got into like, you know, import cars and shit like that. I had my 240 S14 98.
Let's go.
Yep. And then I had been leaving this bowling alley, Lynbrook, which was open 24/7 back in the time. And I think it was like 4 a.m. And then this car was like tailing me. And I was like, what the fuck is this car doing? So at the red light, I peeled out. I just fucking peeled out in front of me.
That's privilege.
Exactly. This is what I'm fucking saying.
Have you ever seen that David
This is what I'm fucking
Chappelle
saying.
skit?
I am not.
I
not
didn't know
peeling
I could
out.
do that.
Yeah, you see, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? So then I drive off, and this car pulls me. The lights go on. I'm like, "Fuck!" It was a cop, right? So pulls me over, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, he was like, "How old are you?" I was like, "I'm 18." He's like, "Act your age, not your shoe size." Blah blah. And then finally, after being aggressive, he was like, "All right, you could go." And I was like, "Damn!"
God.
And honestly, yeah, that was fucking hella privilege. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen the opposite side when I'm like with my black friends. I'm like, "Oh shit!"
No, I've never gotten off on a ticket.
Really?
Never gone off on a
No,
ticket?
no. The only one time I ever got off on a ticket was when something worse was happening at the same time.
Oh, and
Dude,
they get
I
that
heard
call,
about
like,
that.
you're lucky.
Yeah, they're like, you're lucky, I gotta go.
Wow.
But I've never gotten off with a ticket.
I've
It could
literally
be
gotten
like-
off of 3 tickets, and one was drinking and driving.
Oh,
But that one's a good
fuck.
story. Like, or maybe it's
Really?
Yeah, I am kind of light.
Shut the fuck.
I was with you guys actually.
Really?
Me and Ann had gone to WeHo, and we were all party with you guys, and we took Hector back. He was drunk as fuck. He brought a guy with him, and they're both in the back.
Damn.
Some like
I know Hector. Shout out Hector.
Shout out Hector.
Shout out to Hector.
He knows the story. He brought back with him some like small blonde Asian dude, like a skinny Matt,
Yo.
and he starts to throw up in the back of my seat. You know,
Oh,
he's like,
Jesus
and
Christ.
we're on the 405. We're going back. I think we're around Downey, and I'm like, oh shit. He's like, you know,
Oh.
and I pull out into like, you know, a random, like we're on the freeway, so we whatever exit, and we find a random freaking like plaza. He gets out. He throws up in, you know, the little cup bins. He throws it there in my car. He goes outside. He's throw up all over himself.
Whoa.
He's like in the little
Classic Hector.
yeah, not Hector. This is the guy. This is the guy.
Oh, the
This is the guy.
guy.
This is the guy he brought.
shit.
This is the guy he brought. And so he goes outside.
Sorry,
he
Hector.
finishes his business. He comes back into my car. All he's wearing are these like neon green with yellow accent like Speedo.
Tight.
And I was-
No, really, it's tight. Literally.
yeah, real tight. And I was like, what the? And he just gets back in. He's like, okay, I'm good. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I have to go outside and look through his clothes, and I'm like, okay, get his phone, get his wallet, get his keys, and it's all like it's all messy.
God.
I leave his clothes there. I ain't picking that up. You know, put that back in the car. And then I'm driving, and I'm like trying to find the freeway, and then this is like 3 a.m. It's pitch black. Have you guys ever seen that that scene from Held in Kumar where they're crossing the street?
Yeah.
And it's just like fucking that. I see this I missed the exit, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make a little U-turn. It's a legal U-turn. Make a legal U-turn. Woo, 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 woo.
AKA sounds like Irvine.
Yeah. Under the fucking bridge was this random cop that was just hiding there. There's no cars around us.
Again, sounds like Irvine.
At all.
Because nothing happens in fucking Irvine, bro.
I know exactly why it happens.
He pulls me over and I'm like, fuck, I've been drinking. Like you could smell the beer on me.
Jesus Christ.
And it's me driving, Ann's in my passenger seat, Hector's in the back, and then that guy's passed out. And I look at the cop and he's like, oh, you got to get out of the car. He makes me get out of the car. I do the little like walk thing. And I tell him my fucking story. I'm like, yeah, my friend picked up this dude. He started throwing up all in my car. You can smell it. The guy feels so bad for me. He's like, I'm going to let you go.
Wow.
You had a rough night.
Lucky.
That is very lucky, dude.
Or is he lucky?
Disclaimer, though, we don't condone drinking and driving, but
we're done with
past. To be honest, we've fucking
we
done
are
it,
done with that.
Like, just being honest.
If you are a darker shade than this, do not drink and drive.
I've always gotten a ticket, but not anymore. I also drive slow. I also have a Prius.
Wait, what happened to your Z4?
Okay, you went from
Z4, right?
I have a Z3. It's
have
a
Z3, yeah.
shout out Joey out in DC who's taking care of it, but
dang.
he's fixing it up. He's
Nice,
doing
nice.
another color. We're doing a British racing green on it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
It's
congrats.
gonna
I
be nice.
actually remember him talking about that car for like a long time.
I
and then
love
we finally got
that.
it.
I love that car.
Yeah.
And my business partner before, he got it for me. I will
That's a
not
good
get it,
business
but I paid for it.
Oh, you paid for it.
Yeah, so like I have that a motorcycle, Harley 83 iron, and then a Prius. So save gas money, gang.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's all about saving these days.
You're a bad boy, but still economical.
Shout out Toyota.
All right, so I'm asking you this.
Go
We've
green.
been talking a lot about the past, right? And we're talking about everything but this because now that we kind of have a little bit more information on you,
Yeah.
Obviously you
There's some
DJ.
wines, and there's some wine in the.
You went to school where you're a minority, hella minority, 1 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, but like you skate, you did sports, you own your own brand, like, and you're just like you pursue so many different things.
Well, the brand thing came later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in general, like I'm not following that strict guideline, but like I'm assuming through those years of like when you meet people and in the dating scene, things have changed like drastically for you, right? Because at one point you were just a skater kid in the streets, like getting pulled over by the cop for
Getting
no fucking
fired from
reason.
knots.
So now like you're owning your own business, and another thing that I know about him and Mario does too a little bit is that you also moved to New York for a while.
Yeah, so I left the whole like sales life behind, and actually like this dude DJ Tempo, which I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
So he was helping me to DJ. Preja actually was the guy who was helping me get gigs, and I took a hiatus of just partying, which when I dropped out of school. Sorry, Mom. and I just DJ'd for like shit, man. Like two years, and I DJ'd all the clubs that like In Cahoots. All right, we're gonna go back in the past. We got In Cahoots.
All right.
Square
We
dancing
have we have Club Red.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? Club Red?
Yeah. 888 afterwards, Envy,
Yeah,
Legacy.
yeah, and then Time used to be called
Sutra.
Sutra.
Yeah, it was Sutra.
So since I DJ'd at Sutra, I actually DJ'd at Avalon in LA.
Oh, nice.
Club Blue, if you all know about Club
if
Blue.
you know
in West-
Club Blue, you know Club
if you know about Club Blue,
Y'all
Yeah,
are
it's a little
degenerates. Y'all are degens.
Not gonna deny that.
bless your heart. But yeah, I DJ'd all over like OC in LA, and actually like the biggest event I've ever done was in Mexico, Mexicali.
Oh, okay.
Me and the guys, we got a car. We met some friends from the Disco Villains back in the day.
Disco Villains is their name.
Yeah, they so those guys invited us to go out to Mexicali, and I DJ'd in front of 5,000 people.
sick.
After Steve Aoki.
What?
Which is why am I gonna DJ after Steve Aoki?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
after that, I was just like,
After Steve
after
Aoki.
oh
Not
shit!
even
I was
opening.
thinking
Yeah,
like,
not
oh,
even
he
opening.
before, right?
yeah, I swear he's like, good luck, kid. I was like,
That's
okay,
wild.
and I was just DJing with my head down, like, oh my god, dude, I got my set. I hope I don't fuck up, But yeah, I DJ'd for a while, and then it was actually down here. I parked in. This was. I'm sure downtown Santa Ana is a little safer now, but
Yeah.
It's like-
I went to I got off a gig and I went to Proof Bar and came back and my DJ equipment was stolen. Yeah.
That's
so
the worst thing ever.
So shout out Ryan Britt. He used to work at I'm King.
Yeah.
He then he was like, "Yo, do you want to get back into this? I have a marketing position, like an intern marketing position with I'm King. Shout out I'm King."
Yeah.
So I took that as a sign, you know, because I'm still like low key like religious in a way of like, okay, God's doing shit to put me in a different path.
God's looking out for you.
And I always think about the little like points in your life that is like a decision that you have. It's either red or blue. And there's certain things in your life where you're like, okay, if I take the red pill, I'm going this way. If I'm taking the blue pill, I'm going this way. Like one of the first ones was when I was doing the sales rep, the sub rep job with Globe.
Yeah.
I worked at Avenue, which used to be called, well, is now called Orange County General Store. So I would
Is that
work.
what it is? Yeah.
It's now, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I used to work. Shout out Ken and Toshi, and so God bless their heart too, because I was like, because I was working there, and then I got a call to go on a sales run down in San Diego, but I was also scheduled to work at that store, and I had to make this decision of like, what am I gonna do? So I just I said, fuck it. I'm going to go for what I really truly want. And I went in there, like, I think I was like 18, 19, and just was like, hey, guys, I have to go do this sub rep job over in San Diego. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, are you going to work today? I was like, no, I can't. It's today. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, dude, like I have to take off. And then they let me go that day, obviously. But I did something for myself.
Yeah.
And that was one of the pivotal points in my life where I was able, like I did something did something for myself, and it put me in a trajectory to what that is. So same thing with when Ryan hit me up and I got my stuff stolen, I just saw that as a sign, like, am I going to still continue DJing, which it is fun, but also there's a lot of things that come with that. And it's like going out late, drinking all the time, maybe other curricular activities at the same time. You know, so I took that as like, I'm going to go back into my original passion, which was to be in the industry itself.
Yeah.
So I did that with Ryan, and then that's when I started my life with I'm King.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about your I'm King experience. Were you the one who created the Lindsay Lohan shirt?
No, I was just an intern there. I work with Alex Quang. I think I hope I said that right. But yeah, Alex now does tattoos out here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I came in through Ryan. I was under Alex, and he taught me a lot too, because he was like, had all these ideas of things to do, and you know, he would kind of just be like, okay, but how can we do that for free? You know, like that type of idea, you know, so that you can like think of better ways to like promote the product rather than, you know, just throwing money at stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it like made you think outside the box of, you know, doing that. But yeah, like I'm King was a very crazy time in a sense of like just in general living that life of like at the time too. I was working as an intern at I'm King. I worked at Native Foods as a server, and then I did a cake job, Dolce Monticelli. This these bun cakes. They made like butter rum cakes.
Yeah.
But I would wake up early in the morning and go. I would go do this cake job from like 5 a.m. to like 11 or 12, and then from there go to my internship, and I would do that from like maybe 11 to 5, and then go to my and then go to my restaurant job and do that from like 5 to 11.
Costa Mesa?
I worked at the Costa Mesa one a couple times, but my main one was over in
Irvine?
Aliso Viejo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like I learned a lot from those guys. Shout out Andy and Polo, the owners of it. Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody. It's been a long time. Like Marilyn's killing it. She's doing photography now.
Is she still doing stuff with Skrillex?
I think so. Marilyn can correct me on the podcast, but yeah, like it was a very cool collective of people, and they taught me a lot about like everything. Like I did marketing there, and then I got into sales with I went back into sales because like for me, I wanted to start getting paid.
Yeah.
And like
internship in America, bro.
Yeah, it's like being an internship in the marketing department, you don't really see results in marketing unless it's like later. Like you don't like you can set this marketing plan, but you're not going to see the results like fast. And I want quickness. I want you to evaluate me right now. Yeah. So like I went into sales and I worked under Chris now over at I'm King, and then Lee Ramirez, and then and I just did cold calls and all that stuff. I took on the East Coast because no one wanted to do it.
What's the most important thing you learned that you took to your business?
Actually, it wasn't from I'm King, but it stuck with me forever. Like, shout out Wally, if you guys know Wally.
Bro.
Wally was, I never told him, but he really, like, he said to never stay comfortable, always stay hungry. And that kind of, like, stuck with me. So I always was just hungry. So I always, like, just wanted more and more and more. Maybe that's why I always got fired from.
That's funny
because I always wanted more than just what I had.
Yeah. That's funny because Wally started a restaurant, right? He like did the whole Munchies thing, which was like right here, and I think it moved downstairs, and I think they closed down during COVID. But that's interesting. He told
me. Yeah,
like,
he has an NFT thing with. With Richard? From him, it led into like I'm King, and kind of just, those guys taught me just how to work with a team, because that was my first team. Yeah. And then also like it's not always about like money. Yeah. It's about like how you can do it without money type of thing, because there was still grassroots. Like this was like during like LRG was like hot. Yeah. And LRG kind of like, like rest in peace Jonas, but he like set this blueprint of how brands can be a brand. Because before it was like Sean John, wild, that. You had to have money. You had to have, something. And like LRG came out and was just like, oh, we're an underground brand. Huge. And we fuck with underground artists. And, if you're wearing LRG, this is the message. Yeah. So like that kind of then trickled down to like, there was a lot of OC brands. There was like
Obey,
Triumvir.
Oh yeah,
Triumvir. Shout out Richard
Arisu.
and Kevin. Yeah, Arisu, which I actually worked with too. That's that's how I know Wally.
I think I still have some pants from them. I swear.
Yeah. Really.
See what's crazy about this is that this really mostly started in OC. Like this
OC, there was a lot of OC streetwear.
People don't really understand, dude. Because one of the things that I actually want to ask Andy about it that gets us mad is that when people refer to OC as LA, because we are two separate entities, right? Like we are similar in certain ways, but we're
OC
separate.
Is not LA.
Yeah, not LA by any means. Yeah. And it's crazy because there's a lot of shit that started out here that people won't even acknowledge us for. You know what I mean? Like people think like it doesn't even exist. That doesn't. We're like vanilla, but that's always been the case with OC, right? Whether we talk about fucking the OC show where they only feature like Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, and shit like that, but there's everything else that's like fucking Santa Ana. You know what I mean? Like all these other cultural fucking melting pots are out here. That's made such a big deal in paving the way for that fucking industry. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I just want to give like props to like all the guys, all the people that I worked with that were older than me, that then went on to do more. Like they then laid out a blueprint for us. Yeah. You know, for sure. 100%. Like Andy and Polo, they showed us that you can start a brand. Or like, same thing with Arisu, same thing with Triumvir, same thing with like all these guys showed us that it's possible to just do more. There's more than what OC is.
Yeah.
You know, and then from Andy then came the restaurants. Like and Andy helped people like I started afters. You know, and you can do it too. And now there's so
100%.
many restaurants in OC that are
Food
popping
is
out.
crazy, bro. So there's one thing that you mentioned a couple times, something about, oh, how can we do this shit for free, right? I remember specifically talking to Annie about this. I was like, yo, how the fuck did you start a brand? Did you pay everyone? And he was like, no, I couldn't pay everyone. I was like, how did you convince them to work for you? He's like, honestly, during that time, we sold them hopes and dreams. Like, that's all we could do.
Yeah.
And they believed in us, and they were a talented crew, and it happened, you know? And I think, like, if there's anything to take away from everything that David's saying, or, like, that's the blueprint before him, is that if you bring your hopes and dreams and people believe in you, like, there's so much you could fucking achieve.
Yeah.
That doesn't need, like, money involved. You know?
Yeah, like I went into sales because I know that is the easy indicator of like how you can like get money.
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
like how well you're doing. But like in general, yeah, like I just liked what they were doing. And I liked the community. And I liked the family aspect of it.
Exactly.
I liked how everyone was together. I liked that there was a place that we were doing stuff that was just it was bigger than us.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know how crazy it was for Andy and Polo, but I'm pretty sure now knowing that it's like now knowing that I'm a business owner now with like my agency and my store and then the brand, like it's like, you know, I'm pretty sure they went through a lot. That was pretty like wake up at night and just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, like why are all these people working for me? Or why are all these people like, you know, so like shout out them. They really kind of like, you know, they helped me get to where I'm at too.
How did you start?
I was working with I'm King. I was with like Chris and Lee in the sales department. Like me and Lee would just, we call it phone banging, but we would just like, we would call people over, like this calling, just cold calling people, right? But one day we went into this place called Family Sports. And Family Sports, I asked the buyer at the time, I was like, yo, like what's poppin'? Like what's good? And he showed us this brand called Rustic Dime. And then he told us the price. And then me and Lee were like, what? Like, you know, these jeans are like, you know, $17.50 wholesale. And then we went to another spot called Boardwalk. Dave, the buyer, I asked the same question because like going off of that, I was like, oh, like let's see what else is popping out here, right? So then he told me his friend Daniel Cassidi, he owns Rostoclat, which is like huge now. So me and Lee, like we're like, yo, like what do we do? And I was like, let me write up some contracts and like see if we can do sales for him. So as you guys should know, the best way to have a interview or a meeting is always over food.
Drinks too.
So with Rustic Dime, my voice cracked. Rustic Dime, we did a dinner at not Kabuki, the Japanese barbecue spot.
Oh, it used to be all you can eat for like
Gyukaku.
Gyukaku.
Yeah, I hope I said that right.
Yeah, you did. Gyukaku.
Yeah, Gyukaku.
Toward him.
Gyukaku.
Yeah.
Gaijin.
Whatever. Yeah, so we had the meeting with Rustic Dime there, and then I sent over the contract. They signed it with me and Lee, and then with Rostoclat, we did tacos.
Easy money right there.
That's the secret. Take them out to dinner.
Yeah, so Daniel loved us, and then we signed contracts for that, and then me and Lee were out the gates just trying to get sales from. And then over time, I was working under Chris, but like, you know, a lot of stuff that I was at the time very ego driven about, and I was very like why me type of thing. Like I now understand why things happened.
Any particular thing that you could think of?
Another point in my life where I had to make a decision of what to do. It was like the contract was close to being up, and I believe Lee was not like confident that we were going to be able to keep these guys as clients, and so he partnered with Chris to do the brands. I didn't necessarily know, but Lee gave me the option of like And I still remember it was like at a fucking Jack in the Box next to his house.
Food, huh?
Yeah, but it was like, you know, you can either work with us to do East Coast or you can be an independent rep.
Oh, wow.
And so I swallowed my pride and ego and was like, I'll just work with you guys. You know, it was very like heartbreaking at the time because I thought that I was being like, oh, these guys went behind my back and did it.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like that, but really in general, I understand it over time. That I just know that, you know, I wasn't bringing in numbers.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what sales is all about. So
100%.
like in order to keep these guys, like they had to make a decision. So I started working with those guys, and I was like probably the first. I was the first sales rep for Leverage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
That's crazy. Because where they're at now, it's like,
Yeah, they're huge now.
Yeah.
From that, I started working with those guys doing East Coast sales
wow.
because no one wanted. No one wanted to do East Coast.
I mean, you're from the West Coast. Like, East Coast sales is like a long distance relationship at that
Yeah,
point.
but I also was like, my ultimate goal was to. Why is my voice kind of?
Blame it on the wine.
Yeah, I'm still growing, guys. My ultimate goal was to live outside of OC.
yeah,
Because OC, I saw as like it was a bubble.
bubble. Yep.
Became really familiar, right? Too familiar.
It was just like what else? Like what else is there to do here?
So, all right. So, to kind of like
Yeah.
go off of that, I know we know your professional history now, right? And you've gone through a lot of phases, whether professional or not. Like whether
Yeah.
growing up in Long Beach and be a scrappy kid to going to OC and find out you have to scrap for everything, to being a DJ, getting into sports, getting into sales. Like one big thing is that, you know, with a lot of phases in your life, you probably meet a lot of women. Like how does that change, and especially as you become more confident in like your abilities? Like I'm sure, and then again, just to go back onto the fact that you moved to New York, the dating climate or the dating setting, I'm sure it constantly changes, right?
Being in this environment, I always was never a sure shot.
What do you mean?
I can't take this guy seriously. Type of
Really?
Is that in work
like,
or
like
relationships?
I've had total probably 3 girlfriends.
yeah.
Like relationship? Like real serious
like,
ones? You mean?
Yeah, like serious ones.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I'm traveling all the time.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
just like, hey, what's up? I'm popping in. You know, or like, hey, you're leaving. You know,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I always was. I would always long for something more sustainable or more permanent.
Yeah.
But I was always leaving because, like, for me, work is always first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks, you know, but to find a person who is your work is first, like I will, like
support
handle
you.
your shit.
Yeah.
Get the bag, boo.
When was that the case, though? I mean, obviously, you've made this into your career and your business, right, as like entrepreneur. But at a certain point, when you were younger, that wasn't always the case, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah,
so-
the first girlfriend I had, I don't know if I should say names.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
you
go
could, we
ahead,
could bleep it
say
out. We
whatever
always
you
do.
Okay, like,
do.
well, yeah, my first girlfriend, she knows who she is. I was definitely like a shithead. Like I just wasn't. It was my first relationship, and I didn't know the do's and don'ts.
Were you in that mindset already? Like, I want someone permanent already? Or was it
At
until-
that time? It's never like that. Like it always
Okay.
feels like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it never is that because it's like what I believe is like dating people is finding out more about yourself.
Yeah.
Like and like it sucks that when you have to go through like I hope you don't have to go through so many people to understand that. But like
Lars
you
gone
know-
through a
I was
lot.
no, don't you dare! I was like, you ran through. You
like-
ran through.
There's no running through people. But yeah, like it's just like, you know, I've had, you know, I was never that, I would say, cute or good looking.
Huh?
Really?
Up until I was like 19.
Oh, okay. That's understandable.
Like high
still
school.
hella young.
High school was weird. I never had a girlfriend in high school, but then when I
Oh,
turned
wow.
19, like that's when like I actually started to like
Grow
in-
a beard?
yeah, grow a beard or like grow into myself, and it was a lot to take in because it was just more of like how do I like I don't know myself.
Yeah, and you're trying to navigate yourself on navigating.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate myself at the same time. Like I'm in a relationship, and it's kind of just like
That's hard.
It's hard because like they most likely don't know who they are at the time, and I don't know who I am at the time, and then we're both trying to figure out like how to be together. And like there's great times, then there's really bad times, and there's okay time. Like you know what I mean? It's like at the time when you're young, I'm cool with all of my exes.
Yeah.
Cause
really? All of them?
Yeah. Cause like I always left off like at the time it seems harsh.
Oh yes.
But at like over time I'm just like, like I lose my ego. I'm just like, that's the biggest thing. Just lose your ego. Like if your ego is gone, like you can just literally be like, I'm sorry. I was a shithead. I should have been, this. I've learned a lot about myself doing like from that. Now I'm a better person.
You said that like you were told shit at your first relationship. You're at 4 now out of like from 19 till now you're 34.
Yeah, the first didn't really know who I was at the time.
Yeah.
And just wasn't really thinking about another person's feelings. And
blinders on.
Yeah, blinders on. But it was like it's funny. It's like when you're in a relationship, you're more blinded. But
different way.
When it is just the world, like I smoked weed and then my blinders was off. But then I didn't know about the second blinder. The relationship.
Yes, the relationship blinder.
Because
you get rid of that one with shrooms. You need that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Second one, she was younger than me. She broke up with me. First one I broke up with.
What was your longest relationship?
It's always been a year.
Always been a year.
Yeah.
Really, every single one?
Always been a year. I think so it's like how the story goes is that 3 months, after 3 months of dating, you're like, okay, am I going to keep seeing this person? Yep. And then after the year, it's like, am I really going to see this person?
I say that all the time. It's 3 months. You get to know what a person is really about. And when you get to the 3 month mark, you get to decide, okay, am I going to continue dating this person? Like I've gotten to know them for a good while now. It's like that's the first road bump. And then it's the 6 months. Because at the 6 months, depending on who you are, it's like, okay, does this person become my girlfriend? Do I see this long term? And then it's the year when like a year in, you guys know each other. You know how fucking weird you are. You know like so much of your deeper insecurities, your goals, your hopes, your dreams, and you get to know this person. And that's the breaking point where it's like, hey, can I see this person with the rest of my life?
So it's all relative, everyone.
Yes, it's very relative.
I think it's heavily nuanced,
timeline.
for sure.
The timeline doesn't have to be exactly. But these marks, it's always been a year because when you're at the year, it's like, can I do another year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the idea. So it's kind of just like that's what it was.
So now that you say that the pattern is a year and within your 4 relationships, right? What other patterns have you noticed? Do you have a type? Is there like a specific thing that you're going through your life that you find these women at?
I just want to say that when I was, I never had a relationship really. I never had relationships in high school. And then when I met like Danny and Daniel and Prija and Charles, all those guys, they infused me into.
He's got yellow fever.
They infused me into the Westminster culture.
I knew it.
And so then I was I was just new.
Yeah.
Everyone knew each other already, and I was just this outlier person. Like, hey, what's up? I'm David.
Yeah.
So like, I've told people this, but I've hung out with a lot of people, and I've not a lot. It's not a lot, but like I just was lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I figured out.
But also too, everyone else was fucking lost too.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like trying to fight, like find themselves, know? So
still hard, dude.
Still
never ending,
hard,
man.
So like mix that with like nightlife, and you just get a lot of broken hearts and questions and but I was always honest and upfront. I was like, hey, not looking for a relationship. Yep. Like, I just here like to enjoy our time together.
Yep.
But like, that is like just a fucking line, you know, like
It is.
you know, like
It is.
like you can be like super like honest about it, but in reality, it's like it's never just that.
Oh, you guys
So-
gotta explain that to me. I don't understand. Please.
Man, bitch, you know, fucking.
He really.
I thought you don't
Yeah, David.
You made
Yeah,
a
David,
cuss.
please explain. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. It's honest, but
Yeah.
it's just something to say. But in reality, it's like that. It's never just that because someone's gonna catch feelings.
At least it's been in my experience where it's like, look, you can tell someone like, hey, I'm not looking for anything else. Like, I am here just to have fun, and you say it up front. But it's also aligned because you know what you're doing at the same time too. Like, you know that you're creating this sort of, let's call it a relationship, let's call it a dynamic between these two people. Like, you know, why are you doing that when you know you don't want something serious, but you know that other person might, you know, and in certain terms it could be, oh, maybe you're manipulating this person, but at the same time it's like, hey, you're looking for something too. Like, you can talk about like loneliness, you can talk about wanting something, you know, and you're also trying to find yourself because at a younger age, everyone is lost. You know, and you are trying to figure it out. And even though you have these interactions with people and it's like you are honest about it and you tell them, it is sometimes like a line and it's like, because you know it'll work.
It's a scapegoat.
Yep.
You know, like instead of being real, you know, like really real, like you just say. Like,
All right, be real right now.
Well,
What would older you
oh,
say now, you know, to younger you? What would you have said then?
I would be like, I'm not looking for a relationship, but I'm down to be your friend.
Yeah.
And then that's it, and not do anything else, and just continue to be friends.
I totally thought you were
That
going to say,
fucking tip-
Right.
I thought you were going to say fuck, but
Yeah.
But that was the thing. It was like you say that, and then you just keep doing.
Yeah.
You continue doing the same shit. You know, when you know the other person is gonna get feelings most likely. So it's like now David is just like, I'm just down to be your friend.
Yeah.
If I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna let you know so that we don't waste time. Because now there's not a lot of time.
Do you feel like now the difference between you back then, you now, is maybe like the approach? Because it sounds like before it was like you didn't know how to, you know, approach it, but it seems like now you're more figured out, right? You're like, hey, I want to let you know this is my honest truth.
A little bit more figured out.
Right? Do you feel like, okay, this is just something I'm curious about because we always talk about West Coast, East Coast things, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like there was a big change
Yes.
between you living in LA versus New York?
100%.
Okay, so what would you say that would be?
In New York, compared to OC, tell me like you have to ask somebody to go eat.
So what's the difference? Like,
No,
you gotta explain to me as
I'm
you-
saying this like
Okay,
in OC,
yeah.
like you like I want to go eat. Let me go ask my friends.
Yeah.
And if nobody is down to go eat, then you just eat at home.
And then what happens in New York?
In New York, you just fucking go eat. You're hungry? Like just go down, like go eat.
Okay, you're talking about solo.
Yeah.
But what about
Solo,
if you
solo
wanna,
dolo eats.
So what about if you don't want to go eat by yourself and is with someone you're interested in? What's the,
Okay, so I'm trying to just say in general, it's more independent when you're out in New York.
New York, yeah.
Because like everyone is fucking busy.
you're saying in California people are a little bit more dependent. You know, if you want to go eat, you ask your group of friends. If they don't, then it just kind of doesn't happen. New York, it's like if no one says
Yeah.
anything, you just go eat by yourself.
Like if you're eating by yourself in OC, people are.
It's
most
kinda
likely-
weird.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
"Where's your friends?"
Let me ask you first, like, what was the approach with women in Cali that, you know, that you took specifically?
In the OC, to go anywhere, you're going from point A to point B in your car.
Yeah.
No interaction with anybody else. You know, so like meeting people or having the opportunity or the ability to talk to a random person, it's a lot less than if you're in New York. New York, I have to take a train. I gotta like walk. I got like you're interacting with so many different people that like, you know, you're at a bar
Yeah.
and every one of us is like, oh, there's that girl. Do you want to go talk to her? Like, oh no, I don't want to. Like, oh, I'm so shy. Like, I don't, you know, maybe won't she like she won't like me or like, you know. But it's just like in New York, it's like, hey, what's up? What do you do? Because everyone's from a different place.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everyone's there just trying to make it. You know, so it's kind of more just like, and you interact with people on the train and you interact with people outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's just like you have that what is it? like you have the ability or the practice to like just talk to people.
Opportunities there.
The opportunity is always there, but without intentions.
Yeah.
You know, you just go there and just be like, you're at a bar. It's like, hey, where are you from? It's so easy.
Yeah.
You ask someone where you're from, you're like, what? I'm like, I'm from OC, bitch.
Damn. Actually, now you're telling me this, it
Like-
sounds like an introvert's worst nightmare to be in New York, where it's like,
oh, dude,
You're forced to learn.
like New York can be the best place or the worst.
what kind of person do you think fits in New York though? Because now that you're telling me all this, right? And I'm not introverted, right? But if I were to look at it, like my everyday life is whether I get out of my house, I'm talking to people down the streets, or I go on the subway, I'm talking to someone on the subway,
Yeah.
I'm getting off talking to someone
Usually
on
you're
the way
not
to
talking
work.
to people on the subway. You're just there. Or,
Okay.
But like,
the opportunity's there.
but yeah,
Like you're
are you, is that seat taken? Like, you know,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's just,
interactions.
it's just the fact that you're around different people
Oh.
gives you the ability to be more open to interacting.
Do you feel like you built a courage up to then speak to randos?
100%.
What was the first thing that you could think of that when you went to New York, maybe at a random bar or whatever your experience was?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, I'm from Cali, whatever, so I'm here. You know,
Yeah.
like, what do you do?
They're like, why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the weather is shitty outside.
Oh, that's
You know?
usually what they say about
Yeah.
Californians, huh? Yeah.
Was that your line? Yeah, I'm from Cali.
Yeah, bro, I'm from Cali.
What's up, dude? So
No, it's literally it's like where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah.
You know, where do you live? And then you can, you know, it's funny. You can judge a person where they live.
do you want to go back to my stairwell apartment? Did you ever take people home to beneath your
I
stairwell?
have.
That is so different.
That's hustle right there.
I feel like if anything, that's probably one of the most different things, right? Because obviously the income discrepancy between New York and Cali is not super different, but the affordability wise is very different. Like 100K here is like, you could probably be decently comfortable. 100K in New York is like you live under a fucking bridge or some
In the
shit.
stairwell.
Yeah, under a
Yeah,
stairwell. So it's like,
the rent for like at the time, like it was probably like around 3,400.
For the stairwell?
300 was my portion, but the place I think was like 2,400, and that was living in Jersey City, which used to not be really nice, but now it's nice as
Getting
fuck.
better.
It's like a seventh borough, you know, because it's literally right across the like you take like the subway to World Trade Center, you know, so it's like it's very accessible. But yeah, it's expensive in New York because you pay for everything.
Yeah.
But then again, what are you paying for here? You're paying for car insurance. You're paying for your car.
Gas.
You're paying for gas. You know, so it kind of like balances out.
okay, if someone just telling me that they stayed in New York and they stayed under a stairwell, I would be like, okay, well, for one, you're just trying to make it, right? The income doesn't
dollar
go,
in a dream.
right? And two, your income only goes so far.
Yeah.
So dating people and being understandable about their situation is probably a little bit more forgivable there.
Yeah.
Whereas if you live in Cali and you tell me you live under a stairwell, I'd be like, what the fuck is
Like,
going on?
okay,
You see what I'm
are
saying?
you
Like,
okay, bro?
so do you think that like New Yorkers in general, being from California, they're a little bit more understanding of like your situation?
But
Because-
like New Yorkers in general, understanding of what you're going through.
yeah, like
Yeah.
hey, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment where I share
Yes.
with 2 people. You're
Yes.
like, well, yeah, it's fucking
Yes.
a New Yorker thing.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
But also too, you're not just in New York for no reason.
yeah.
You either it's intentional to be there.
So you have to ambition.
You have to have ambition, or else you're gonna just get wiped out.
It's dog eat dog there, right?
Well,
Give a
it's
dog a
like
bone.
if you're not gonna finish this job, which in California sometimes people do the job tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
someone's gonna take your job right then and there. So like that hustle mentality is
Yeah.
what I loved about New York, was because like, you know, I love the laid backness of like OC and all that, but like New York is where you get your hustle.
Got
And I've
it.
always been hungry.
Got it.
Shout out Wally again.
Shouts to all.
So I wanted to ask about the differences between like dating here and dating in New York. I think
There is no relationships in New York for me.
Wow.
Because it's just I was young and
Oh, I just mean dating in general. I don't mean a
Oh.
relationship.
oh,
you know?
just dating.
Yeah,
oh,
just-
What was the
normal
game
dating.
like? What was
Yeah.
the game like?
girls out in New York, they were very like ambitious.
Yeah.
Because you have to be. You have to be ambitious. You have to be doing something. Some are editors. Some are like fashion stylists. Some are like working at like multiple restaurants. Like, you know, like everybody there is a hustler.
Yeah.
So like, the dating of it is just very free. It's more of like, are you like, hey, let's get together at this time and date, you know, and then probably not see each other for 2 weeks.
Oh.
I would not see like most of my friends for like maybe like 3 weeks to 2 weeks, you know, because everybody's just so busy, you know, living.
Damn.
So we usually ask on the show, like, what's your craziest dating experience? Do you have any crazy stories from dating out in New York?
They all involved like coming back home like at 5 or 6 in the morning, and everybody is like getting their day started. And the thing about living in New York is like when you go out and say you have a rendezvous with with someone after, then like to go back home, especially when you're in Jersey, you have to like take the train from wherever you are.
Yeah.
You know, because I was too broke to take a fucking taxi.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm taking the
It's just
train
fucking
and
expensive.
everybody's just like, you know, dog walking and birds are chirping, and I'm just like on the train like,
Wow.
like, yo, dude, like I just
Sign
wanna
sober
smoke
up.
home. So yeah, it's like I never had really any crazy experiences like that.
No one tried to stab you. No one tried to.
I've had bums try to like, you know.
Oh, I meant
like-
women.
Like, oh no, I've had bums try to kill me, but like not kill me, but you know. But my friend said when I got there, it was like, hey, like, you know, the only thing they have to lose is nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh.
why are you gonna have a fight with this person? You know, you have more to lose. So just keep it fucking walking.
Yeah.
Wow. But dating wise, has been pretty mild for the most part. Do you feel like, okay, now to kind of change the question up,
Yeah.
maybe dating New York wasn't crazy, was dating in Cali crazy?
Cali. So dating for me in Cali was harder because I was
Wow.
also living Bicoastal.
Yes.
So then that's when I was talking to you about people taking you seriously,
Yep,
because it's like, you're going back to New York. Why am I going to like think this is long term? But it's something that I always wanted. But like thing with Preja, like Preja told me, it's like, you're a penguin or a flamingo.
Okay, yeah.
If you're a
that.
penguin or a flamingo, the 9 to 5 is a penguin. The flamingo is who I am. Where I'm always like, fucking, you don't know where I'm going to be because I'm always traveling and it's always for work.
Yeah.
So penguins get with penguins. Flamingos get with flamingos. Penguin and a flamingo might not mix because it's like this person is here 9 to 5, and if you're traveling so much, like, you know, they're only left to their thoughts unless they have like reassurance that this person is fucking down for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard
You know
for
what
it
I
to
mean?
work out. Yeah. Because reassurance, like long distance, is a huge thing.
Yeah, and I would try to date people here and then hey, I'm leaving back to New York for 3 months.
What are you going to do when you're back in New York?
Like, you know, and then they like their thoughts are in New York, and like I would be, but I'm mentally down for this person, but they're not going to take me seriously because the distance or the lifestyle. So it's always been a struggle trying to balance the two. But work has always come first.
Yep.
You know, even if I'm crushed, which every time I'm super crushed, and then my like business partner's always like, okay, here we go, another month of sad David.
You know, I assumed you had yellow fever because you said me dang, and I was like, wow, he said it so perfectly.
Ciao, M.
There we go.
M dip qua.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
Con ya lam.
Okay, never mind.
That means you have a lot of money.
Yeah, and then my bad friends are like, "Ku dang." Okay, just tell them your name's Ku
No,
dang.
it's Gunya.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
It wasn't yellow fever. It was like legit, like I was telling you earlier when I was in Vietnam. I was like, whoever likes me,
Yeah.
likes me, you know, and that was who you're around with, you know. I'm sure. Like, did you ever date a black girl?
No, I've only dated
Exactly,
Asian girls,
because you're only here.
Because he's a racist.
If you
because I'm racist.
if you were in Long Beach, you probably date a black girl, maybe.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty right for
It's
the most
just
part.
it's just about where you are, and like for me, I was taken under my friend's wing and introduced to a whole new culture of people that I never knew existed, and I was just engulfed in that. And
okay.
I just and that's who I knew.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because for me, the reason why I've only dated Asian girls is because, and again, the way I date is a little different. Like I allow them to have interest first and maybe speak to me, and I'm like, all right, this could go somewhere. And it usually stems from people that are Asian. I don't really get as many people outside my ethnicity like approaching me. It does happen.
I think Latinas like you.
Yeah, it does happen, but usually it takes time to build.
I know, like with Korean people, if you are Korean too, it's a lot easier for you to understand each other.
Yeah.
Same thing I've learned with like Filipino. Some Filipino only fuck with Filipino people because they understand the culture, and it's a lot easier to take back home.
Yeah, that's big for some people. It's like understanding your culture, because then now you don't have to argue about it because you guys both grew up going through the same thing.
And
it's hard on your mix.
And it's a lot easier to bring to your parents, which I've never met any of my girlfriend's parents.
What? Really?
That's a funny one. Like I told Peter the story where like I dated a lot of like Asian women when I was younger, and one of the things was like you're never accepted. At least back then it was a little more racist, where it's like they didn't want you dating a Latino or something like that.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, which pushed me to like, okay, I got to try and learn like the language, or like I got to be more immersed in the culture, and that's what like pushed me to like, okay,
how do you know I know like chow back, chow go,
Makes sense.
chow am.
Yeah,
I know
good,
like
bro.
fun y'all.
Trust me, I know.
See, my main thing is that I've only dated people my same ethnicity, right? So
Still don't know Vietnamese.
no, it's not. Well, I mean, there's that, but it's not even the Vietnamese thing that, like, for instance, like you said, none of your significant others introduced you to their family, right?
Yeah.
Like one of my significant others, I didn't meet their family until like year 5 or 6.
Holy shit.
Who?
And I can't say.
Not who? Wait, is this a girlfriend?
Yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Just to let you know that it takes time, and it's like if I'm serious about this person, I'm not gonna just show every dude to my parents.
I mean, it was only 5 or 6 years, decent amount of time, I would say.
Well, that's a long.
I think okay. So the difference is what I'm trying to mention is that like you're saying, maybe they introduced you because like ethnically or culturally you're different, and maybe
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, we don't
Never
know,
asked.
right? I know what mine was because ethnically and culturally we're the same. Difference was IQ wise, she was hella smart, and she should have been dating like a doctor or a lawyer. And here I am.
Like, what do you do?
Running a
She was
podcast with Mario.
On the other side, it's like I introduce girls on the first date sometimes.
So on the flip side, have you introduced your significant others to your family?
Yes.
Wow.
My parents have met like
How many
girlfriends.
out of the 4?
It's like 3,
Wow, you are on the flip end.
if my memory is correct.
Yeah, I mean that's still.
It could be less, but yeah, like I'm more open to introducing, because my mom was always like, "Oh, where's my
So-
you get
hoping to have
married.
grandson?" Like,
All right,
like,
so-
it's just a whole different like vibe.
I don't mean to judge you, but I'm gonna. So I'm gonna say
Go
this,
for
right?
it.
So like the fact that they don't introduce you, you introduce them. Are you one of the people to fall first when you're in a relationship?
Obviously.
Okay.
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh. You haven't
All
got
right.
this
I was
yet?
making sure David the dude, David the simp, kind of sounds
David the
same.
dog.
David the simp.
But okay, that makes a lot of sense because I was saying like,
But that's the growing phase because of how I was living bicoastally. I was always wanting more than what the person could probably provide at the time, because it was more just like I just want reassurance that you're down.
Yeah.
But then how are they going to know that I'm going to be down for them while being so far
You're not
away?
even here.
You know, but in reality I was, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
And then I'm just tied to them, and then they then don't want it anymore, and then I'm just so stuck. With them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes time for me to get over that, and it's a constant cycle until I legit read the book by Jocko, like Ultimate.
Ownership, extreme ownership.
Extreme
Yeah.
Ownership.
that's a great book.
Everything in your life happens because of you.
Yeah.
and if somebody does something that you don't like and you're connected to them, it's because of you.
Yep.
It's all about the communication that you do for people, or it's like expectations for people that are it's like expectations that aren't real, you know, and just, you know, everything happens because of you. And if you actually take ownership in everything that you do, your life will literally fucking change. Because then you'll stop blaming people for everything that. So like, so me, I was like blaming people so much for, like the girls at least, for why don't you like me anymore? Why? Like, but in reality, it's like, why would I like me anymore?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm so gone. Like I'm so.
Or maybe you place trust on a person that doesn't deserve that. You know, like, why don't you like me? It was never the case of it.
It's always not about you.
Yeah.
Most of the time, 98% of the time, it's not about you. So if someone breaks up with you or somebody like does some shit to you, it's not really about you. It's about them. So you just gotta like understand that and just be like, all right, well, you know, you've done the best that you could, and just bless them.
Based on everything you're telling me, obviously you've grown a lot, right? So
A lot.
What would you say now if you were to describe like a healthy relationship that you'd want, being a guy who's gone from like New York where people would be dating?
Still working on it.
Still working on it. Okay, so what would you say that you've derived from these relationships and being bicoastal and dating the chill side of California to the busy side of New York where people are dating 5 people at a time?
If you're down for the person, be down for the person.
Okay.
If you don't see it long term, then let it go. You don't want to waste people's time. You know, and like at this age, there's no time. You know, or there's little time. There's always time. There's, you know, it's not, you know, why waste somebody's time when it's not going to happen or not going to work or whatever they want, right? Communication, always talk. Like, hold on, I'm gonna. My friend John.
Text back.
No, my friend John sent me this this quote. But constant C's. Constant communication cancels constant conflict. The 5 P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Hey.
Thank you, John. So like,
I like that.
legit communication. So like, I have issues with communicating because I've always been just by myself.
Yeah.
So checking in with people has always been a big thing for me, because with work, it always is like, if some shit happens, I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah.
But I never had to tell somebody that I'm going to take care of something if we had plans.
It's like how you were saying you're the one-man team. That's why you gravitate towards skateboarding.
Yes, a relationship is a team. You know, like, so it's like, all right, I'm learning to be like, if something comes up and I have things to do with another significant other, then I'm going to let them know first and then go handle it, because they'll understand that work comes first.
Yep. Would you say there's something, a lesson or an idea that you've gotten from all the dating that you've done, something that's stuck by you, that's changed who you are?
Literally all is just communication. It really is. No one knows what you're thinking. Yeah. So it's like, why not let them know what you're thinking so they can have a better judgment of like what you're thinking and how they should act upon it, you know? Because if you leave anybody to their imagination, it's always going to run wild and you're going to be in the shit. You know?
What does that communication, does that mean?
Yeah,
are you willing to
just like communicate your feelings, how you feel about it, your intentions, your like things that you're doing? If you know, like, give them, if you really are committed, you know, give them a plan of what you're going to be doing for the next month, and give them a plan of what you're doing for the next 2 weeks, you know, so that they can, you know, because people want to always, some people always want to please you and be there for you, but if they're thinking that they're going to be there for you and you're not scheduled to be there for them, you know, but you don't let them know, then it's just a disappointment on their end. Yeah.
That's actually very good. I think I'm going to take that into my own dating life too. Because I work a lot too. Like, and it's work first, you know, work always comes first. I'm hungry too. I'm trying to hustle, and it gets in the way of relationships, you know, you're prioritizing your success and the things you need to do. And, you know, you can't always hang out. You can't always be here. Yeah. But giving someone like a plan, a schedule. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do for next week. That's a good idea, actually.
And that's why I was like saying, like, it's sometimes easier when a person is like in the same industry or they're in the same type of environment, because then they understand.
Yeah.
But like some are like maybe in a 9 to 5 and, you know, they get off work and they're like, I just want to be with you. You know, like sometimes, you know, that doesn't happen, and then, you know, frustration comes in play and all that. But like, that's dating, you know. It's not about, like, it might not be that person, you know. And if something is very important to you, like work, which it is for me, like a person who's really down for you is going to understand that. But you have to also bend. You can't just be the only person who is calling the shots. Like, you know, there's a give and take. So that's what I'm learning, is to like give and take, you know, but also, you know, letting them understand, like, that's my, like, how are you going to go out for dinner? Like, you know, if we're not able, you know, if I'm not working, like, you know, like the things that I want to do with you or whatever, it won't happen. Yeah. Unless I handle my shit. So, but yeah, it's literally all comes down to communication. And, you know, if it's not right for you or the other person, don't hang on, just bless it away and, like, you know, take it as a lesson and then move on to the next. And, you know, if there is a next, but, you know, just don't have, you know, be intentional. And at this time of age, back then, like, intentions, what is that? Like, you know what I mean? Because we're all
leave
still
it up to interpretation.
Yeah, we're all still we're all still learning about ourselves. So it's like, you know, at like 34, you know, girls around this age, you know, they're like, you know, everybody's trying to settle down. So, you know, don't waste anybody's time. It's like number one.
If I had to ask anything, you know, out of all the relationships that you had, not just with a significant other, not just in sales, not just with yourself, your religion, what's one main takeaway that you feel like no matter what the subject is, like, is very important to have?
Just be real.
Okay. Yeah.
Just, you know, if you're struggling. So like in 2019 or 2018, I was doing pretty well. I was making like great money. And then I left a brand that was making me about 80% of the money that I was making. And, you know, your expenses are high, but your income's low. So that's a really pretty gnarly time. But from there, I was struggling. And, you know, but the thing is, I kept my, like, spirits up with friends, and, you know, friends like allowing to take me out and all that stuff. I was literally taking the bus and all that stuff for 2019. I'm waking up and like in panics, going like, what am I doing with my life and all that. And, you know, I kind of was just like, you know, my friends helped me through it, and family as well. And, you know, you stick with it. You know, I ended up making it, but like also I'm never scared to go back to there, because you can actually fucking come back from it. Yeah. That was the first time going that low and then coming back from it. So now I'm like not scared to go broke. Like everything I do it with 100%. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But as far as like in the relationship part of things, is just be real. If you're struggling, let them know you're struggling. If you're, you know, if you're having issues with something, like, just don't let them try to assume. The worst thing that you can do for anybody is like let them assume something. Yeah. Because it's like, what are they going to assume? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, because you also don't know where how they grew up. So like maybe whatever their assumption is way different from what you're actually doing. So it's like the communication goes into being real and just being like upfront about everything. So then like there's no like questions of whether what you're doing or you know, your intentions with them or anything like that. But then, you know, it's just like sales. You just, you know, if you're just do it as though you're selling, you know, but there's just more feelings involved.
Yeah.
Like you want to keep an account. What do you do to keep an account? you know, wine and dine, like be real with them. You don't sell them on everything, because like if you sell them on everything, they're not going to trust everything.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to like hey, like, you know, you can't be like, yo, this whole line is fire. You just be like, yo, like from all the sales that I've been doing, this one's good. This one's good. Don't you like, you can pass on this shirt.
Yeah.
You can pass on this pants.
Wow, that's very.
You know what I mean? Because it's not about the money. It's about the relationship.
So is that how you like basically do it for yourself? Like, hey,
How-
like I'm tall, I got nice eyes, a beard, but I'm dealing with depression. I might be broke right now, but like if you invest in me right now, just wait in 2-3 years, just wait.
Well, I don't tell them. I don't like. I hope they wait, but but I'm pretty sure. Like, you know, I'm just like, hey, this is where I'm at in life. You know, and if they're down, they're down. If they're not, like, well, okay. What are you supposed to do? Like,
that's how fair.
yeah, I don't take anything personal anymore, because it's like, you know, I try not to, but like,
letting
you
go.
know, it's not hard. Like it is hard, but it's like, you know, it's just, I try not to, because it's not always about you. So
Damn, the blinders, man. Fucking
smoke weed.
smoke weed every day, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back to Lightning Round, where we ask our guests some rapid fire questions. David, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. What was your DJ name?
DJ David Allen.
Okay.
I thought that was the best marketing approach, because then everybody just knows your name.
What's the origin of David the Dude?
Devin the Dude,
Oh,
the artist. And I was
Yeah.
like, let me change the to a THA, the. And then dude, DOOD. And then thus came David the Dude.
your favorite clothing brand?
It's hard. What?
Drink. You still gotta answer
Still
the
gotta
question.
answer.
My clothing brand is called Keep Out Fake Love.
Yee! All right.
.com, you heard?
Your happiest moment?
How can you say that? Every day is happy. Every day is a moment that I'm happy.
Hey.
I'm happy to be here, which is on my IG. I'm happy to be here.
Your saddest moment?
Yeah, this guy's not giving a little drive after, man.
It's all relative, dude. Like, what? There's so many sad moments. But
First thing that comes to your mind, you know?
I lost my dog.
Ooh.
Roll tears.
If you're an animal, what animal would you be?
Damn, there's so many great animals out there. Like, I'm trying to think of one that doesn't get eaten. Probably a lion.
If you were a male stripper working at Magic Mike, what would your
Cool.
name be?
Okay, my name be David the Dude.
I knew it.
It's already
I
easy.
fucking knew it.
All right,
I thought it'd be David the Dong.
Wow. Yeah, sure. I'll call it
Close
Ku
second,
Dang.
right? David Gouding.
What's your goal for the year?
The goal for the year is to expand my team and expand the team. Try to be less hands-on with the day-to-day, but also try to deliver the best service that I can, obviously. And I want to own some sort of property, but California is making it very hard right now.
Do you have a fetish?
Money.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
damn.
So strippers, got it.
Yo.
No fetish.
What scares you?
Maybe the biggest fear is going back to a 9 to 5.
And my last question, one article of clothing from No More Fake Love that you think anybody should buy?
Oh, the T-shirt that I got you guys real quick.
Hey, that's pretty sick. I like that.
Yo.
With the barbed wire
Yeah.
on the
Damn,
front,
with
That's
the
very
barbed
LA.
wires stay out, huh?
Very
and
LA.
then on the back it has the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear this tonight. I'm trying to stay single, so I don't want to wear that shit. Be too fresh.
Yeah, I started the brand just to like have a creative outlet, because like sales is creative, but
Yeah.
in a different way.
Different way.
Yeah.
And that was like, me and my team. Like, so my team is Sanako, who's my business partner, Kevin, who handles my financials, Kevin Wynn.
Gotta be an
And we
Asian.
got Kevin Rivas, who works with us doing like our day to day. My brother Keenan works with me too. Keenan Allen works with us doing like
Nice.
calls and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's just everything we talked about is like just being real. So keeping out fake love. That's what it's
I
all
love
about.
that.
Like,
Nice. All right. Who's your favorite skater?
all my friends. You got Taylor McClung.
Oh shit.
You got Trevor McClung. You got Tom Karangelov. Who else is there? Richard Perry. You got Jason. You got Matt Bublitz. Like all my friends are inspirations. Kind of seeing them as like, I used to skate with them, and now they're like fucking pro.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy how that.
Sick.
I realized I wasn't gonna go pro, so I was just like, I'm gonna just work in the industry and get the same perks.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but get paid at the same time. But I gotta actually work. I don't get to skate.
Yeah.
But those guys are like huge inspirations as far as like skating, like all
Sick.
like, Kevin Romar, like all these friends that I used to skate with at
Nice.
El Dorado Park.
All right, cool. What's your holy grail of tricks?
I used to, like, my favorite was like a back heel.
Oh, nice.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, just straight up back heel, huh?
Straight up back heel. I'll back
You're
heel
the dude with
I'll
the
back
back
heel
heel.
anything. I'll back heel
Block
anything.
back heel. Dang, all right. If you could travel to one more place in your life, where would it be?
If I've already been there,
Even if you've been there.
Thailand, bro.
Okay, for what?
Everybody
What
go.
reason?
Lady
Everybody
boys.
goes. I love Thailand. I like. Shout out Khan. Shout out 2P. Shout out all the guys from Southside.
Hey.
My friend Stevie. But all these guys, they live in Thailand, and like
Really?
I went to Thailand as a regular person,
Yeah.
and then I went to Thailand with them. And these guys are like hip hop artists that are out in Thailand.
Oh, yeah, it's like,
And like I got to experience Thailand in a different way, but also just like how inexpensive it is.
yeah.
Like food is very inexpensive. Traveling around is inexpensive. It's fun. You just have to get over the weather. But like everybody is nice. Like sawati ka, kap kun kap. Like it's just very like super nice.
My boy cultured.
My boy is cultured. Yeah. But yeah, Thailand. I'm actually going in April for Rolling Loud. So if anybody's out there,
What is one trend in fashion that you wish never happened? Oh, drink. You got to drink.
there's like hella trends that just keep coming and going. Like honestly, like I don't really hate on any fashion because it's like it is your way of expressing yourself, and if you feel comfortable and happy in it, fuck it. I don't give a fuck, but at least like just look good.
All right, my last question. What's one thing you want to say to audiences out there that are trying to succeed in fashion? That one piece of advice you give them?
Don't be afraid. Go for broke, because you will, like, even if your credit score goes to 530, been there. You know, if your shit goes to broke, like you'll always get out of it. Like you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't kill you, then why not go for it? You know what I mean? Like your friends are going to be always there for you. Your family will always be there for you if you have family, so it's kind of just like just go for it. Like if you have been wanting to do something and you haven't, do it smart. Like don't just quit your job. But like how I did is I worked 3 jobs. I worked 2 jobs while doing an internship. So I made it to where I was making money, but then not making money with what I wanted to do. But then once what I wanted to do started making money, and it kind of got to a point where I could let go of the things that I was doing as far as restaurant jobs and stuff, then do it, Like I had to wake up, like I was up till like 1 or 2 in the morning working on my shit, and then going to work at 5 in the morning. And then doing an internship, and then being in New York and going across the city with a fucking roller bag with samples in it, not knowing what borough I'm in, and not knowing what neighborhood I'm going through. Like I could totally get jacked right now.
That's the dilemma of every California and fucking New York.
Yeah, like I didn't know where the fuck I was.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like, but I fucking went for it. I went for it because that's what I wanted. So I was just like, for anybody that wants to do something, do it. If you're young, you can just fucking do it. If you're older, make it, like, be smart about it, but do it because you don't want to have regrets.
Yeah. 100%.
I've been self-employed. I'm not rich, but I've been doing what I've been wanting to do since I was 23. So like been traveling wherever I wanted to. And, like eating wherever I wanted to. People know that, and
Yeah.
you know, from my posts.
100%.
But it's just like, it's you.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like if you want to do something, do it. If you're young, you can just do it. If you're older, be a little bit smart about it,
Yeah.
but still fucking do it.
Final question, right? Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
What is one cryptocurrency you see lasting forever?
Bitcoin.
Hey,
You already know the vibes.
Bitcoin maxis.
I'm dollar cost averaging as we speak.
Yeah,
You're
DCA, baby.
DCA. I don't give a fuck if it's going up or down. That shit's gonna be like, that shit is the future. So
Yeah, that's why I told the girl. So I'm gonna fuck if it's going up or down. It's going up sooner or later.
Yeah,
Sir.
yeah. Like just my 10-year plan is to like live off of that. So
Yeah, no,
just
dude.
dollar cost average. Right now, I just do like $50 a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
easy.
$50 a day, $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy.
Like me.
Easy money.
All right, guys, that concludes our lightning round. I want to say thank you to our amazing guest, David Allen.
Yo.
DJ David Allen,
that it?
David the Dude. Let us know where we can find you.
You can find me at sign David THADOOD, David the Dude. The company is the Goods Group, and then my store in Virginia is Telos LA. Shop Telos LA.
Hey, well, thank you guys for joining us throughout this
Oh,
entire
and
episode.
keep out fake love.
Oh, and keep out fake love. You can't
Get your T-shirts now.
t-shirts in before they sell out.
Type in guys that listen for a 10% discount.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, for real. If you guys, I'm gonna make a discount code tonight. So
Yeah, we got the discount code going on.
yeah, and then all proceeds go to this podcast. You're-
Oh damn! Hey Mario, you can afford your dates now. dude.
Yes!
Actually, he's rich. Don't worry about that. But thank you guys for tuning in the entire time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys want to hear us talk about next. And remember, live fast, eat ass.